English Learning Network.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to English Learning Network, where we help you improve your English every day. In today's lesson, we're talking about modal verbs, those little words like can, could, will, would, may, might, have to, ought to, shall, and should that make a big difference in how we communicate. Let's explore how to use can and could when talking about ability, what someone is or was able to do. Can is used to talk about current or present abilities, something you are able to do right now. Can for present ability. Example, I can speak 3 languages. This means you have the ability to do it now. Can for physical ability. Example, she can swim very well. This shows she has the skill or ability to swim. Could is the past form of can. We use it to talk about abilities someone had in the past. Could for past ability. Example, when I was a child, I could run very fast. This shows that running fast was an ability you had in the past, but it may not be true anymore. Could for general ability in the past. Example, he could play the piano when he was younger. This means he had the ability to play the piano in the past. Could for hypothetical present ability. Example, I could help you if I had more time. Here, could suggests you're able to help under different conditions, but right now, it's not possible. Now let's talk about how we use can, could, and may to ask for and give permission. These modal verbs are really useful when we want to be polite or formal in different situations. Can is often used in informal situations to ask for or give permission. It's the most common and casual way to ask if something is allowed. Asking for permission. Example, can I leave early today? This is an informal way of asking for permission to leave early. Giving permission. Example, yes, you can borrow my book. Here, you're allowing someone to do something. Could is more polite and formal than can. We use could when we want to sound respectful or when we're asking permission from someone in authority. Asking for polite permission. Example, could I use your phone for a moment? This is a polite way to ask for permission, often used in more formal situations. Giving permission politely. Example, yes, you could stay a little longer. This is a polite way to give permission. May is the most formal way to ask or give permission. It's often used in more official or respectful contexts, like at school or work. Asking for formal permission. Example, may I leave the room? This is very polite and is often used when speaking to teachers, managers, or in other formal situations. Giving formal permission. Example, yes, you may go now. This is a formal way of giving permission. Now let's explore how to use can, could, may, and might to talk about possibility. These modal verbs help us express how likely something is to happen, ranging from very likely to less certain. Can is used to talk about something that is generally possible, things that can happen in certain conditions or situations. General possibility. Example, it can rain a lot in the summer. This means that rain is possible during summer, but it's a general statement, not about a specific moment. Possible ability. Example, people can get sick if they don't wash their hands. This talks about what can generally happen in certain situations. Could is used when we talk about something that is possible, but often less certain. It suggests a hypothetical or future possibility. Hypothetical future possibility. Example, it could rain later today. This means it's possible, but you're not certain. Uncertain possibility. Example, he could win the race, but it's hard to say. Here, could expresses that it's possible, but not guaranteed. May is often used for formal or official possibilities. It expresses potential, often with a bit more formality. Example, I may travel to Japan next year. This suggests that traveling is possible, but it's not decided yet. Official or polite possibility. Example, the meeting may be canceled if the speaker doesn't arrive. This is a formal way to suggest that cancellation is a possibility. Might is used when talking about something that is possible, but often less certain than may. It expresses a weaker possibility. Less certain possibility. Example, it might snow tomorrow. This means there's a chance, but you're not very sure. Slight or weak possibility. Example, she might come to the party, but I'm not sure. Here might suggest a lower possibility than may or could. In this section, let's dive into how we can use may, might, and shall to make suggestions. These modal verbs are perfect when we want to recommend something or give ideas politely. May is often used to make polite or formal suggestions, especially when speaking in a more respectful or professional setting. Making a formal suggestion. Example, may I suggest we start the meeting at 10 a.m.? This is a polite way to offer an idea for a meeting time. Offering advice. Example, you may want to check the weather before leaving. This suggests that checking the weather is a good idea. Might is also used for making suggestions, especially when you're being polite or less direct. It's softer and more tentative than may. Polite suggestion. Example, you might want to try a different approach. This is a gentle suggestion, implying that trying another way is a good idea, but you're not insisting. Tentative. Suggestion. Example, we might go for a walk later if you're interested. This is a polite, tentative way to suggest a future plan, giving the other person the option. Shall is more direct and often used when offering a suggestion or making a proposal. It's common in British English and slightly formal. Making a suggestion. Example, shall we go out for dinner tonight? This is a direct way of suggesting a plan, often used in group decisions. Offering assistance. Example, shall I help you with your bags? Here, shall is used to suggest help or assistance. Deciding together. Example, shall we start the project next week? This is a collaborative suggestion, asking for agreement. Now let's talk about how to use should when giving advice. Should is used to give advice or make suggestions about what you think is the best course of action. When you use should, you're telling someone what you believe is a good idea but without being too forceful. General advice. Example, you should eat more vegetables to stay healthy. This means eating more vegetables is a good idea and will help you stay healthy. Offering guidance. Example, you should study for the exam if you want to pass. This advice points out what will help the person succeed in their goal. Missed opportunity. Example, she should have taken that job offer. This means it would have been a good idea for her to take the job, but she didn't. In this section, we're going to talk about how to use must, ought to, and have to for expressing obligation. Must is used to talk about strong obligations, things that are very important, rules, or laws that you have to follow. It shows something is necessary or required. Strong obligation. Example, you must wear a seatbelt while driving. This is a rule or law, and you don't have a choice. Giving orders or commands. Example, you must listen carefully. This is a strong instruction or command. Ought to is used to talk about what is the right thing to do, or what is morally expected. It's softer than must, and often used when we are giving advice or talking about duties that are not strictly enforced but still important. Moral obligation. Example, you ought to help your friend when they're in trouble. Example, you ought to help your friend when they're in trouble. Have to is used to express external obligations, meaning something is necessary because of rules, laws, or other people's expectations. It's often used for things that are required but might come from outside yourself. External obligation. Example, I have to pay my bills by the end of the month. This is an obligation that comes from outside, like a rule or law. Necessity. Example, she has to wake up early for work. This means she is required to wake up early because of her job. Let's explore how we can use will, would, can, and could to talk about future actions. Will is used when we talk about something that is certain to happen in the future. It's the most common way to express future intentions, decisions, or predictions. Future intentions. Example, I will call you tomorrow. This means that you've decided to call the person and it's definite. Predictions. Example, it will rain tomorrow. You're predicting what's likely to happen based on current knowledge. Future hypotheticals. Example, I would travel more if I had the money. This means you're talking about something that could happen in the future, but only if a condition is met. Polite offers or requests. Example, would you like some help with your homework? This is a polite way of offering help or asking about a future action. Can is used when talking about someone's ability or the possibility of doing something in the future. It's more direct than could and is often used when something is likely. Future possibility. Example, we can go to the beach this weekend. This is talking about something that is possible in the future and depends on other factors like the weather. Could is used to express future possibilities that are less certain or conditional. It's softer than can and is often used when we're unsure about something happening. Future suggestions. Example, we could try a new restaurant this weekend. This is a suggestion for something that might happen in the future.
If you found this lesson helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to English Learning Network for more English lessons. Thanks for watching and see you next time.